Hey guys, Matt here. Today I'm taking a look at a brand new disc from Discmania, the Active line Sensei. Now, if you haven't heard of this one before, it's a putt and approach disc. It's actually manufactured for them by Yikun Disc Golf in China, and I gotta say it's got a great feel. It's a fairly shallow beadless putter. Give you a look at the profile there, with a very flat top, a shoulder that's on the high side, and really cool stamp of some sort of Asian gentleman with long Fu Manchu mustache. Very cool. And looks like he's doing some sort of meditation or levitation, maybe both. This one I have here is 172 to 174 grams and feels great. I think that this actually might be the Yikun Gui with a different bottom piece, because the Gui has quarters in the bottom that have two grippy panels along with two smooth ones. Other than that, that disc and this one are almost identical. I've got one that I really couldn't tell the difference, but it feels fantastic. The plastic I would say is most similar to BT or Zero Medium from the Trilogy brands. Feels really great in the hand. And I've thrown it around a little bit, and I actually was planning on testing this one against another disc, but laying up on my shelf right next to an Axiom Soft Envy, I was struck by how similar the profiles are. Now, if you get a look at them side by side, they are darn close. The bottom wing is almost identical. The parting line is a tiny bit higher on the Envy, and the shoulder's microscopically higher, but you really got to look to see that. And some people say the Envy have a micro bead. I really just think it's the core protruding at the bottom that makes it look that way, but gosh, they're close. If I couldn't have seen the little bit of pink shining through the bottom on the Soft Envy, just from the profile, it was very hard to see the difference. So I'm going to try them on a few different lines and see if they actually fly as similar as they look. Don't do that. All right, so having thrown both, I have to say they are remarkably similar. If you couldn't feel the gyro rim on the Envy, you'd be hard pressed just by a feel to tell which one was which with your eyes closed. In flight, they were honestly pretty close. I would say that the Sensei has a tiny bit more turn and maybe a little more fade as well. Just a little bit of gyro fairy magic making this one fly a little bit straighter, and at full power just a tiny bit longer. The only times I was really able to unleash it was going up the hill, and the Envy outstripped the Sensei even on the one where I didn't hit a tree pretty solidly. But I gotta give the Sensei some props, because on forehand throws I had pretty darn good luck with it going straight. Give it just a little bit of Hyzer on the flick, it flipped up and just rode it until it was about ready to die and faded just a little, hit the ground. So I'm not ready to say the Sensei is better than an Envy, because the Envy is one of the best throwing putters of all time, but darn, it's good. It's really good. It's pretty long, and fairly fast for a putter. If you're a big Discmania fan and you've been looking for something in the Envy type of category, that is a fantastic option, and a very affordable option, where you're looking at about $11.99 to $13.99 with most of your Envies, sometimes a little more for premium. This one was available on Infinite for $6.99, and I think that was on sale, so it might be $7.99 normally, but still a couple bucks cheaper. And then the premium version, I think, was $11.99. So the premium version of this one's about the same price as the Electron Soft of the Envy. So affordability, definitely the Sensei's got a slight advantage. And also with availability, now that James Conrad has announced his MVP sponsorship and people are saying he's going to be throwing an Envy, he probably will, and will throw it well. They're selling out really fast a lot of places. So look for a Sensei. You'll probably find one pretty easily. If you can't, remember, I'm pretty sure this is the same mold as the Yikun Gui. It just doesn't have those grip pads on the bottom. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Really appreciate you guys watching, and have a great day. All right, so before I stop, I kept mentioning that I thought the Sensei and the Yikun Gui were the same mold, and I remembered I've got one, so I decided to break it out and show it real quick. This is my Gui. You can tell very faintly. It's the Tiger line, which is the same as the Active plastic. Mine's a little bit puddle top because it's hit a lot of trees. It was my main throwing putter for a couple years back in like 2014-15. So it's pretty beat up. It's actually been to India with me. And if you take a look at the profile, ignoring the scuffs and dings, it's so close. I think the top is exactly the same, and they made a different bottom for it. It actually might be the same as the hammer bottom, but you can tell the PLH on the Gui is like microscopically lower, like maybe a little bit, but this is the main difference. It's got the bottom in quarters, and that's all grippy texture here, and then that's normal and smooth. So that's the main difference between these two, is this one's got a completely smooth bottom, where this one has these two quarters that are grippy. But gosh, that profile, so close. I wish that mine wasn't quite so beat up, you could see it better, but that's the comparison I kept making. They throw very similarly as well. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good night.